All right, let's talk about the final three with the man who broke that story, our baseball insider, Jim Bowden. Jim, it's kind of like the final episode of Survivor, the final three. I mean, every team is in this for themselves. How did we get to this point where it is down to just three teams?
Well, the Washington Nationals, I think, listened to everybody's offer. They kind of reached out to the teams that they thought they had a match with and basically laid out to everyone what it would take to be in the conversation to get Soto. And when the process was all said and done, they've cut it down to three teams, and that is the St. Louis Cardinals, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the San Diego Padres. And as of this hour, all three are in the hunt for him. The offers continue to be adjusted and improved as time goes on. The Nationals are not in a rush. I think when they get the deal they like, they'll go ahead and pull the trigger. But all indications that I'm hearing are they are committed at this point to moving Juan Soto, and that he will be traded by tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
We were putting the rundown together today. We had the Padres, kind of the last team that we wanted to look at in terms of those three teams, but we're shifting that order, Jim, because of the fact the Padres have already made a couple of moves. Joe Musgrove gets the extension. They make the move for the closer, Josh Hader. So now when you look at the deal that the Padres would have to put together, you said they didn't give up any prospects or key prospects to get Hader that would affect the Soto deal. So what would a deal for Soto look like now with the Padres?
Yeah, so Jeremy, first I want to be clear that there is no order as of now from the Nationals' perspective of who's in the lead. I've heard a lot of different reports about this team being a front runner or not. All three of these teams, from my understanding, are still in the hunt, and the negotiations are continuing, but all three have a chance to get them. When I look at the Padres and what they can offer, I like their high ceiling prospects better than I like what the Cardinals or Dodgers can offer. You look at what the Padres can bring to the table. They've got C.J. Abrams, the young infielder, already in the big leagues. He can play short or second, a top of the order guy. He's been rushed to the big leagues, but he's a guy that's going to be an on-base machine that can steal bases. I just saw Robert Hassel III at the Futures game, and I've said this many times since he was drafted. I think he'll win a batting title someday. He reminds me a lot of Christian Yelich at the same time. And I know people look at him and say, well, I don't know how much power he's going to have. The same people told me that about Yelich, too. And Yelich developed power as time went on. So I'm a big fan of his. Adrian Morejon is coming back from Tommy John. He's got a chance to be a solid three-starter. And I love both James Wood and Jackson Merrill. Now, these, to me, are five of their six best prospects. They also have a catcher named Camposano that doesn't really fit with Washington. But if the Nationals could get a package similar to that, that would be a deal to me that would be hard to say no to. Now, the Cardinals, Jeremy, have a much different kind of offer at the table because they can offer two players at the major league level that can help the Nationals, compete right now. Dylan Carlson, the right fielder, and third baseman Nolan Gorman, who literally has 30 to 40 home run power. They can also offer Matthew Liberatore, who's in the Cardinals rotation. So that would be three guys coming from their major league club right to Washington. Add in their shortstop Mason Wynn, who I watched in the Futures game, throw a ball from the hole at shortstop 102 miles an hour to first base. One of the best arms I've ever seen in my life from shortstop. And they also have a young outfield prospect in the minor leagues named Alec Burleson, who the Nationals really like a lot. Another 25, 30 home run kind of corner outfield. That is quite a potential package, going to Washington. So, between these two packages, the St. Louis package helps Washington compete a little bit earlier. The San Diego package in 3 years is going to end up being a better package. But between those two teams, I think both offers are such that, Washington has to at least consider both.
And what about the Dodgers, Jim? I mean, they're 12 games ahead of the Padres in that division. Last year, they were, a team that a lot of people said won the trade deadline, and they're a team that's kind of quietly, the Padres making a couple of moves here. But in terms of the Dodgers, what would a Dodgers trade package look like for Soto?
Yeah, I mean, never count the Dodgers out, right? As long as Andrew Friedman's the president. He's the guy that came in there last year and got Max Scherzer and Trey Turner when we all thought they were headed to San Diego, right? So don't count Andrew out. Look, it's really hard to kind of figure out a package that works. I don't have the same inside information I have in terms of what the Cardinals and Padres have put on the table to Washington. But, I have been told that, Washington has interest in Gavin Lux at the big league level, the shortstop. They like him a lot. Dustin May, who's coming back from injury. The Nationals have been scouting him. They really like his arm. I'm not sure if the Dodgers would put May in a Soto deal, but they will put Bobby Miller in there. Bobby Miller's a young pitching prospect that throws 100 miles an hour. He's got a big arm. And they've got a whole bunch of other players in the minor league, an outfielder by the name of Pages, a couple infielders named Bush and Vargas, all of which are going to be future major league players. So there's certainly a package there that could be had. You know, I personally, when I'm looking at the potential offers from all three teams, I tend to think San Diego and St. Louis have a little bit of a lead over the Dodgers, just in concept. But again, I've said this a lot, is that the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? And at the end of the day, it's the package that Mike Rizzo and his executive cabinet led by Chris Klein, it's the package they want the most and they like the most. So you and I, Jeremy, could sit there and say we like the San Diego package better or the St. Louis package. They could look and say, hey, we like the Dodger package better. So as of this moment, all three teams are in the race and anything can happen. And all I can say is tick-tock, tick-tock.
And buckle up, because it's going to be an exciting, I mean, based on just the last hour, I mean, it's going to be an exciting trade deadline once again. He is CBS Sports HQ MLB insider Jim Bowden giving us the latest as the Juan Soto trade market approaches its conclusion. Of course, 6 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Already seen a deal for Josh Hader. The Padres, the ones making moves, as they also signed Joe Musgrove to an extension to kind of lock things up there. Our live countdown coverage on HQ will start Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. Jim, of course, is going to be a part of that. He is working the phone, confirming deals, getting inside information, and passing it along to us. Matt Snyder and John Bowman will also be part of that coverage as well.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.